Hey there folks, today I'd like to take a casual peek into the Star Wars The Vintage Collection Darth Maul action figure set by Hasbro. This set is part of the Phantom Menace wave of Star Wars Vintage Collection action figures and was first released in early 2012. I got two of these sets, one at Walmart and the other one at Target, and I ended up paying about $8.99 for the set from Walmart and paid $9.99 for the set from Target. Taking a look at Darth Maul here in the packaging, you can see the Sith here in his black robes, and he does come with a few accessories here. It's actually kind of neat. And he is encased in this nice card art of the Vintage Collection, where it really recreates the card art from older Star Wars sets, and it's done very well. And you can see a picture here of Darth Maul from the Phantom Menace before he squares off against the Jedi there. And what's really cool is the Kenner logo that's been recreated there. Pretty neat. Taking a look at the backing card here, and you can see that the Phantom Menace wave of figures have a different backing card than previous Vintage Collection figures. And at the top here we have a description of the Star Wars saga. It's pretty cool. And down below that are other figures from the Phantom Menace wave. We have Rats Tyrell, a Naboo Royal Guard here, Darth Maul, Dalte Dauphine, Queen Amidala, and Obi-Wan Kenobi. And on the bottom row we have Anakin Skywalker, Qui-Gon Jinn, Quinlan Vos, Darth Sidious, Ben Quadranaros, and a battle droid. And down below that we have vehicle sets from the Vintage Collection line. It looks like it's not specific to the Phantom Menace wave. We have here a V-19 Torrent Starfighter, an AT-AP all-terrain attack pod, and Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter. Now we'll be right back and have Darth Maul here out of the package. Okay, we have Darth Maul here out of the package, and before we get into this excellent figure, let's go ahead and take a look at the items that come included. First up, we have here a contest entry form for a life-size statue of Darth Maul that's signed by George Lucas. On this side of the form, you can fill out all your information there. And on the other side is the rules and I guess other prizes to be given away. And you have until at least August 31st to fill this out and send. So that's kind of cool. Next, let's go ahead and take a look at the binoculars that Darth Maul uses while he was on Tatooine, looking for the Naboo folks that ran the blockade. And you can see here it's nicely sculpted, and it's got a little bit of paint detail, this red dot there. And but really the sculpt of the plastic is actually pretty neat, and you can see some raised portions of the binocular there, and it's actually kind of cool. Pretty neat there. Whoops, I dropped that out of the way. Next thing we'll take a look at are the two sections of Darth Maul's lightsaber. Now this is actually pretty cool. It comes in two sections. If you've seen the movie, I'm sure most folks have already seen the movie. Obi-Wan slices Darth Maul's lightsaber in two, and it's kind of cool that you can actually peg them in to form the complete lightsaber before it was sliced in half. So that's really cool, and you can see the ignited ends, which is red translucent plastic there. Actually kind of cool, and I really like how they give you the option to have it either one or two ends of the lightsaber. It's really pretty neat. Now Darth Maul does come included with an unignited version of the lightsaber, which I have on the figure here. and it's pegged into his side here. And this is a single piece, which it should be. It shouldn't be two pieces there. And it's actually kind of cool. It's basically the same sculpt as the two-sectioned lightsaber there, except for this one has a peg for you to place onto the figure. Now, speaking of the peg, the way this figure was packaged, the waistband area was actually in reverse. They had the peg hole on his left side when it should really be on his right side. And this is something that fellow YouTuber Mr. Transformer 96, hang loose there, pointed out in his video. And both of my figures were the same way, where the belt line was reversed in the packaging. So if you're not aware, you really have to twist the belt around to get it in the proper position there. So, but taking a look at Darth Maul here, and it's a really great figure. I really like it, and I only have a few issues with it, and we'll get into that. We'll actually get started with that first, and that's the hood here. And you can see that Darth Maul has a robe here that's made of both cloth goods and plastic. The plastic being just the hood area on there. Well, it's nice that they made the hood plastic, because cloth goods hoods don't translate well on 4-inch figures. So it looks like they opted to at least put this portion in plastic. But the only issue I have with this is that it looks a little too tall for Darth Maul, and I think it's because to accommodate the head sculpt, because Darth Maul has those horns on his head, and as a result, the hood looks like it's a little bit higher than it should be. It would have been nice if they had I guess a hood very much like the Darth Sidious action figure from the Vintage Collection line, where it's closer to the head, but I don't know if that would have fit well with this particular figure due to the horns. But it's a nice attempt, but it just looks a little awkward, especially at some angles where the hood just seems to float on top of his head instead of sitting on top of his head there. And this plastic portion of the hood is removable. You just simply pull it off the head there, and you can see some more details of the hood here. Get into focus there. And the front portion here is joined. They're not separate pieces, so it basically forms a loop here, and the head can easily be fitted into the hood area. No problems there whatsoever. So, but that's the hood there. And taking a look at the cloth goods here. Now, I'm not really that much of a fan of cloth goods on figures in the 4-inch scale, because the way cloth behaves, it doesn't really behave that well. It makes the figures look a bit awkward, but I have to admit, this one actually is done pretty well. For one reason, they don't have the hood, and the hoods on 4-inch figures with cloth good hoods, they don't sit well on the figure. But this one, without the hood, it makes it a little bit better, and it behaves a little bit better way it flows on the figure. And it's kind of neat. They have the frayed and tattered edges here of the robe for this particular character. It's really really neat. It really adds to the character on there, and it is a little not baggy, but I guess that's the way this robe is supposed to be, but very loose on there, and I guess tend to be flowing, so that's kind of cool. And the robe is removable, and the best way to remove it is moving the arms back and just pulling off the shoulders there. And you can see some more details on the robe here. It's actually, I really like the frayed edges there. It's actually kind of cool on there. Taking a look at more detail of the figure itself, this is a really nice figure, and it's very accurate to the character in the movie. The horns are a little bit bigger, I think, but I think that's due to the size of the figure to get it into the right scale. But it's a lot better than the other Darth Maul figures, where the horns are barely even show. And this one, they really went to the details to paint the horns to accentuate the spiky nature of his head, which is really cool. And some of the black paint though got onto some of the horns. That's something I can easily fix on there. It's not that big of a problem. But you could see the face sculpt there. It's actually quite good. And I guess that's the tattoo. I'm not sure if that's a tattoo pattern on his face or not. If that's that's natural for his race of beings. But it's actually done well, and not really misaligned or anything. It's not shifted to the left or right or up or down. It's actually just about right, straight down the middle and horizontally as well. So it's really well done on the face, not unlike some other Darth Maul figures from other lines that I've seen. Now there is one issue with the face, and that's the application of the eyes. You really, if you have several Darth Mauls to go through, is to really look at the eye pattern, because I've gone through several of the Darth Maul figures on the pegs that I've seen, and some of them have cross-eyed, lazy left, or lazy right-eyed, so you really have to find one you're happy with if you can choose amongst several Darth Maul figures. It's relatively hard to find, and it's not too often where you see multiple figures, but I have at that Walmart, and I was able to pick one that had an eye pattern that was pretty much straight on. But taking a look at the rest of the Darth Maul figure, you can see his shirt here is sculpted in plastic. The cloth-like pattern there, it's actually done very well, and you can see some of the sculpting detail and the folds in the cloth, the texture of the shirt. It's actually kind of neat, and how it tends to puff out right above the gloves. It's actually very nice, and you can see the gloves here, just plain gloss black there. I guess typical of the Sith. They like that color. And you got the belt here, which, like I said, was originally positioned this way, but really should be the other way around, due to the pattern of the belt on the front, and also the peg hole on his right side. So just be aware of that when you take a look at your figures there. And the lower half here, the skirt-like area, is made of cloth goods, which is pretty neat in how it behaves. Like I said, a lot of the cloth goods and 4-inch figures don't behave well, but for this particular figure, it actually does. It's actually kind of neat, but in how that if you move the cloth upwards, it actually tends to stay in an upward pattern if you move it up here, which is kind of cool. So when you pose the figure, if he's leaping or doing a somersault, it adds to the flow, the action of the figure. But if you straighten it out, it actually goes straight down. So it behaves very well, except for this piece right here. It tends to stick out. But overall, it does behave pretty well. So that's kind of neat. Looking at some of the details of his leggings here, you can see some more of the sculpted details of the cloth and the texture of the leggings in plastic form. Actually kind of cool. And you got the boots as well. So really just a well done figure here, and also well done is the articulation of this figure. And going over the articulation for Darth Maul here, the head does go all the way around. It's on a ball joint, and goes up alright, but goes downward more than it does go upward, which I don't mind, because I think Darth Maul looks more menacing when he's looking downwards than he does upwards. I think it just looks like he has that more sinister look about him, with his eyes gazing at you with his head turned down. So I think that's actually kind of cool. The arms do go all the way around, and they do go out about that high and in. And the arms do bend at the elbow and go all the way around at the elbow. And there is a swivel cut at the top of the glove, which is nice. No wrist articulation. but the glove cut is still pretty good. The torso can go all the way around, and can go up and down a little bit, and side to side as well. And the waist underneath the belt can go all the way around as well, so that's pretty good there. The legs are on a hinged swivel joint, so that's really nice. It allows the leg to go upwards, down, to the back, and even out to the side, which is very, very nice, especially for this particular character where he does a lot of acrobatic type of moves. And the knees do bend as well as rotate all the way around, and the feet bend at the ankle as well as go all the way around at the ankle. So for a Star Wars figure, this is a very well articulated figure, and I think the best sculpted Darth Maul figure to date. It's just a really good figure, and you can get this guy in a lot of cool poses that was typical of the character in the movie. Very, very nice, and I highly recommend getting this figure if you can find it. It's just a very nice figure to have, especially if you're a Star Wars fan and you really like the Sith. And I am a fan of the Sith, so. But this is a very nice figure to get if you can find it. This is my casual peek into the Star Wars, the Vintage Collection Darth Maul action figure. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.